My name is Amelia. I want to share my journey with you, a story woven with threads of love, mistakes, and ultimately hope. I grew up in a quaint riverside town called Havenwood. It was a peaceful place, filled with towering trees, cozy little houses, and a single schoolhouse. Our home was nestled near the river, and its constant quiet mirrored my own personality. As a child, I was painfully shy. I rarely spoke, seldom laughed, and never played with the other children. My parents were incredibly strict. My father, a school teacher, and my mother, a homemaker, valued silence above all else. They disapproved of noise in games. "You must study," was their constant refrain. My life was a cycle of no friends, no play, and no fun. I yearned to be outside, to run, laugh, and feel the grass beneath my feet. But my parents' command was always the same: stay in your room, read your books. I never attended preschool. When I finally started school at 6 years old, I was terrified. The sheer number of children and the overwhelming noise were a shock to my system. I didn't know how to talk to anyone. I sat by myself, ate my lunch in solitude, and watched the other kids play, wishing I could join them. One day, a girl named Sophia approached me. "Hi," she said with a bright smile. "Do you want to play?" I was too shy to speak, so I simply nodded. From that moment on, we were inseparable. I remained quiet, but Sophia's kindness and humor filled the silence. My passion was drawing. I adored colors and shapes, but when I shared this with my parents, they dismissed it. "Drawing is useless," they said. "Focus on math and reading." And so my art became a secret, practiced on small scraps of paper late into the night. At 16, I found a sliver of freedom. I joined a small art club after school, telling my parents it was for extra homework. It was there I met a boy named Noah. He was 17, with warm brown eyes and an infectious smile. "You draw so well," he told me one day. I felt my cheeks flush. No one had ever praised my art before. Noah and I began talking, and soon we were laughing together. He made me feel seen, special. "You are so smart, you are beautiful," he would say, and my heart would flutter in a way it never had before. We became inseparable. He would wait for me after school, and we would take long walks in the park, sharing our dreams. I confessed my ambition to attend art school. "You don't need school," he replied. "We can be together, we can be happy without it." I was torn. I loved drawing and wanted to study, but I was also deeply in love with Noah. At 17, love felt more important than anything else. When Noah proposed we marry after high school, I said yes without hesitation. My parents were furious. "You are too young," they warned, but I refused to listen. I believed Noah would protect me, that I would be safe with him. We married just after my 18th birthday and moved to a small apartment in a nearby town called Willow Creek. At first, life was idyllic. Noah worked at a local garage, and I kept our home. I cooked, I cleaned, and I eagerly awaited his return each evening. A year later, we welcomed our baby girl, Lily. She was perfect, with soft black hair and big, curious eyes. I loved her instantly. But after Lily's birth, Noah began to change. He became critical, controlling. "You don't need to dress like that," he'd say, disapproving of my clothes and my short haircut. "Grow your hair. Stop looking like a child." I was confused. I thought he loved me for who I was. He also isolated me from my friends, claiming, "They don't understand you. You have a family now. Stay home." So I did. Then he started coming home late, offering vague excuses about being with friends I'd never met. Loneliness became my constant companion. When I tried to talk to him, he wouldn't listen. One night, he came home in a rage and screamed at me, "You never do anything right." I cried, completely bewildered by his anger. Another day, during an argument, he pushed me. I fell, more shocked than hurt. He apologized immediately, brought me flowers, and promised it would never happen again. I wanted to believe him. I confided in my mother, telling her Noah had hit me. She looked away, unable to meet my eyes. My father's response was even colder. "You are married. Go back to your husband." I felt a profound chill. The people who were supposed to help me had abandoned me. I returned to Noah, clinging to the hope that things would improve. Soon after, I discovered I was pregnant again. I was scared, but also hopeful that a new baby might mend our broken home. When I told Noah, he said nothing, just turned away. 9 months later, I gave birth to our son, Mason. He had my eyes and a smile that could light up a room. I loved him dearly. But Noah didn't even visit me in the hospital. When I returned home, his only greeting was, "You're back early." The pain was excruciating. I later found out he was having an affair. He didn't even try to hide it. "She understands me better," was his only explanation. My world shattered. I wanted to leave, but I had no money, no job, 2 small children, and no support from my family. One day, Noah announced he was joining the Navy. "I will send money," he promised. "You can take care of things." Then he was gone. The money he sent was sporadic and insufficient. I had to take a part-time job cleaning houses to make ends meet. It was grueling work, but necessary. During this time, my father passed away, and my mother moved to another city to live with my brother. I was truly alone. After 3 months, Noah called. "I found someone else," he said. "I'm happier now." I cried for hours. But 3 months after that, he called again. "I made a mistake. Please take me back." A part of me still loved him, still remembered the good times, so I agreed. He came back, but nothing had changed. The harsh words, the control, the way he made me feel small, it was all still there. We had been married for 8 years. I was 26. I would look in the mirror and ask, "Who am I now?" I never had an answer. Days bled into weeks and weeks into months. I was still with Noah, but I felt hollow. My life was a monotonous routine of waking up early, cooking, cleaning, and caring for Lily and Mason. The smiles were gone, replaced by a constant fatigue and a heavy sadness. Lily, now 5, loved to sing and draw. "Look, Mama," she would say, showing me her pictures. "It's us, happy." I'd smile and kiss her, but my heart was breaking. Mason, at 2, was a bundle of energy, his loud, joyful laugh a small beacon of light in my darkest days. One morning, a knock on the door changed everything. It was my neighbor, a woman named Sarah. "Hi," she said warmly. "I made some tea. Would you like to come over?" I was hesitant, afraid of Noah's reaction, but my loneliness was overwhelming. "Okay," I said, "just for a little while." At Sarah's, I sat quietly as she poured the tea. "You look tired," she said gently. "Are you okay?" At first, I couldn't speak, but her kind eyes encouraged me. "Life is hard," I finally whispered. Sarah simply nodded. "You're not alone," she said. "I'm here. If you ever need help, you can come to me." Her words opened the floodgates. I cried for the first time in years. "Let it out," she said, handing me a tissue. I started visiting Sarah weekly. We would talk over tea, and I slowly opened up about Noah, the pain, and my long-forgotten dreams. One day she said, "You love baking, right? Why not try selling cakes from home?" The idea seemed impossible. "Do you think I can?" I asked. "Yes, I do," she replied with a confident smile. "Start small. Just try." That night, I remembered the joy baking once brought me. The next day, I baked a small chocolate cake, Lily helping me stir the batter. "It smells so good, Mama," she giggled. I gave a slice to Sarah, who declared it perfect and posted a photo in a local online group. To my astonishment, I got an order for a birthday cake. My hands trembled as I replied, "Yes." I poured all my love and care into that cake. When the woman picked it up, her smile made me feel a sense of pride I hadn't felt in years. Slowly, more orders came in. I started saving a little money, buying better baking tools, and small toys for the kids. Noah noticed. "Why are you baking so much?" he demanded one evening. "I'm working," I said, my voice soft but firm. "I sell these cakes." He raised his voice. "You don't need to work. I take care of this house." I looked him straight in the eye. "I need to do this for me, for the kids. I won't stop." He stared at me, then left the room in silence. He didn't speak to me for 2 days, but I didn't back down. Something shifted in me that day. I started setting boundaries. "You will not shout at me in front of the kids," I told him. "If you hit me again, I will leave." He laughed at first. "Where will you go? You have nothing." "Maybe I don't have much," I replied, my voice steady, "but I have courage now." I started dressing the way I liked again, cutting my hair short and wearing my favorite red shirt. "You look strange," Noah commented. But Lily said, "Mama, you look happy." Her words were my strength. Sarah introduced me to her friends, a group of kind, supportive women who made me laugh and told me I was strong. My little baking business grew. I made birthday cakes, cupcakes, even wedding cakes. There were hard weeks, but I had found a piece of myself again. One day I found an old sketchbook. My drawings of birds, trees, and faces were still there. I picked up a pencil and began to draw again. One night I told Noah, "I don't need you to be perfect. I just need you to respect me." He didn't reply, but he didn't shout either. I was learning to live for myself and my children. It was a sunny morning. As I stood in the kitchen, a cup of tea in my hand, I felt a sense of peace. "Mama," Lily said, hugging me before school, "when I grow up, I want to be like you. You are strong." That night, Leo came home late and silent. After the kids were asleep, I sat with him. "Leo," I began, "I don't want to fight, but things must change. You must respect me." He looked at me and said quietly, "You've changed." "Yes," I replied. I had to. I was tired of being small. The next day, I wrote down my dreams in a notebook, opened my own cake shop, save for my children's education, take an art class, and feel happy and free. It was a short list, but it was mine. I started attending free business classes at the library, learning how to grow my little venture, which I named Amelia's Sleep Table. One evening, watching the river from my balcony, I felt a profound sense of peace. Lily joined me. "Mama, do you think dreams come true?" she asked. "Yes," I said, holding her close. "But sometimes we have to fight for them." That night, I wrote a letter to myself. "Dear Amelia," it began, "you were scared, you were tired, but you didn't give up. You are learning, growing, and healing. Keep going. One day, you will be free. I don't know what the future holds, or if Noah will ever change, but I know I will never go back to being that scared, silent girl. I have my children, my strength, my little kitchen, my cakes, and my dreams. And for now, that is enough. Remember, you are strong. You can survive. Even in the darkest of times, there is a small light. Don't ever give up on yourself. You are not alone."